Hi, ladies. Welcome to the Well. I am your host, Navi, and this is the Call Her Well podcast, where we discuss the Word of God, womanhood, and wellness. I am super excited to have you back. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the Well. Yes, this is episode 3 entitled The Art of the Draw. And if you've been here with me, tuning in, you know we are taking a journey through the interaction of the woman at the well. And if you're ready to jump back into it, grab your water pots and let's drink from the well. So, ladies, here we read the word. Yes, we do, because this is a faith-based podcast and we love the word. So we are going to start in the book of John, chapter 4, verse 11 through 15. And if you don't mind, give me some time to read the word so we can go through it. So here the woman said to him, "Sir, you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. Where then do you get that living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob, who gave us this well and drank from it himself, as well as his sons and livestock?" Jesus answered, said to her, "Whoever drinks of this water will thirst again. But whoever drinks of the water that I shall give him will never thirst. But the water that I should give him will become in him a fountain of water springing up into everlasting life." The woman said to him, "Sir, give me this water that I may not thirst, nor come here to draw." Ladies, this is a beautiful example of how to minister. Jesus is showing us the art of the draw, the art of hooking and reeling in. This is a beautiful illustration. God, in his brilliance, is leading her to himself, the Messiah, through her natural need of water. He knows naturally she needs this water, but spiritually she needs the gift of God, the gift of the Holy Spirit, the gift of salvation. And God is saying, "Give me a drink." And this woman, she knows, she's like, "You have to need a Samaritan?" A Jew is asking me, a Samaritan. And if you look at verse 11, you can see here, she says, "Sir, you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep." And we could look at this from a spiritual and a natural standpoint. The woman is looking at the man, Jesus, saying, "You don't even have nothing to drink and draw with. You Jews say that us Samaritans are unclean. So if you drink from my water pots, you would be unclean." And from a spiritual standpoint, we can look at it as, my sins are too great. How can your living water cover the sins? How can your love, you say, cover everything that I've done? I know what I've done. I know what I've done. That living water is not going to pay the price of what I've done. And Jesus is saying, when you drink of the natural, you will always thirst again. When you keep going to drugs, alcohol, sexual desires, things like that, that you think is feeding you, gluttony, social media, you keep pulling from the natural, you will always thirst. You will always have to come to this well. But if you take the living water, if you take the power that comes with the living water, daughter, you can pour from that fountain into everlasting life. It's in you. You'll never have to thirst again. You'll never have to come to this well again. Jesus is showing us why we need the living water. He's showing her through her natural need of water. He said, "You will always thirst with this, but what I have, you will never thirst." And I want you ladies to start thinking, how did God begin to draw you? What was your first encounter with God? So this podcast on today's episode is about, when did you encounter? When did you know? When did you know that God was calling you? When did you know you met him, but you was really not sure? Is this God? Is this my spiritual need? Is this God? Is he drawing me? Does he want me? When was that time? What was that time that you was like, "I don't want you right now, but I know I need you. So I'm going to hang around and ask you questions to see if you're truly the Messiah. You're offering me something, but I feel like my sins are far too great for what you're offering. When was the time that you sat there? It was like, Jesus, why me? Why do you want me? Why are you offering me this? Do you know why I keep coming to this well? Do you know why I keep running from the well, but I know I have to keep coming back? Do you know why? Do you know me? When was that? And see how he started drawing you. Even with this podcast, he's drawing you. He's drawing you with this podcast. He said, daughter, I'm here, daughter. Take the living water, daughter. I am here. I want you. I want you. I have so much for you. This greatness I planted in you. And if you can just accept the living water, if you can just accept that my love, I died on the cross. My love for you covers a multitude of sin. What I did, I paid the price for you. So daughter, accept the living water. Accept that I am God and I can do the change if you allow me. If you allow me to give you the living water. If you allow me to step in the boat. Allow me to step in the boat. I have you cast your nets, you will reap abundance. So ladies, take that moment and say, how did Jesus draw me? And I want to tell you a brief story, a brief story, hopefully it's brief, about the little fragments of God's hand of drawing me. And if you tune in before to the podcast, you know, I told a bit about my background. So growing up as a child, I lost all my hair. I lost my hair when I was in elementary school. And I grew up in what I deem as a single parent household. My mother had 5 kids, 4 girls and 1 boy. I'm the second oldest. And my stepfather lived with us for some time and he abused drugs. He would be gone for a while, back in. And my mother would work the graveyard shift. So we really kind of raised ourselves for the most part. But our home, there was a lot of great memories and some not so great. It was a lot of love, but also a home missing love. 2 things can be right at the same time. And during my time of losing my hair, I would run home and cry in the basement, but I never knew who I was crying to. I knew I was talking to God, but I didn't know who God was. And I will always ask him, why did you make me? Why am I here? I'm being bullied at school. My father didn't want me. It seemed like nobody is listening to me in the home. And I'm dealing with this thing that I didn't cause on myself. And I would question my very existence. And there was this church right across the street from our home. And my mom wasn't big into the church during that time, and she started sending me and my older sister there, and it was what you would deem right now a dead church. They really didn't care for us younger individuals who was attending, which me, my sister, and one of our neighbors' daughters, and we would go there and they would talk about us. And I remember we went to my mom like, why are you sending us to this church? We don't like this church. When you don't go to church, why we gotta go to church? And my mom was like, if I find a church, I'll start going. So she ended up coming across this pastor who invited her to his church. And she was like, hey, if I look good this Sunday, I go. And let me tell you how Jesus shows himself. That church was right down the street from our home. So we had a church right next door to us. We stayed at the corner house, and right across the street was a small white church. Then down the street from that, a block down, was the church that we attended. My mom started going for a while. And she didn't take us. And then one day she just was like, get dressed. We're going to church. We're like, what? I hope not that church next door. But we ended up going to this church. And the name of the church fit the church. The name of the church was True Love Christian Ministry. And God knew I was missing love. So he planted me in a church that gave love, that had an amazing youth group. Amazing pastor and first lady and their children, amazing people who I still call for spiritual guidance. I learned how to speak at the church. I did my first short talk. I learned how to fast. I learned how to tithe. I learned about teaching. I developed a love for God at that church. God knew I needed him. So he planted me in a church that exuded love. I was missing love. So he said, I have you. Go put you in a church where you feel love. And I ain't gonna say I left the church perfect, or when I left the church, I went my way, trying to figure myself out. But the Bible verse is so right: train up a child in a way that they should go, and when they get older, it will not depart. And it didn't. Even though I felt like God's love wasn't, his living water wasn't enough, it began to show up in so many areas. So that's why I'm telling you, take the time to see how God began to draw you. Take the time to see the seeds that have been planted. Take the time to realize that God is still after you. Take the time to realize that God is saying the water is still here. The water is still here. The offer is still here. Take the living water. Take the power with the living water. I'm here. I want you. I love you. I created you. There's greatness in you. There's life in you. There's ministry in you. There's glory in you. There's love in you. There's hope in you. There's salvation when you take the living water. He promised you life and life more abundantly. He said, why go through life and its troubles without me? I'm the one that brings peace. I'm the one that gives joy in the difficult times. Why go through difficult times without God when you could go through it with him, pouring on the living water? Jesus is saying, take of me. I want you. He wants you, all of you. Even the things that you think. It's too bad. He wants all of you. So sis, I promise you, take the time to seek God. He's been there. He's been drawing you. He's been drawing you. He's drawing you now. And sit in that moment and say, God, help me find a church home that's going to pour in love. Help me to see, and help me to see you, to see the love of you. Help me to find community. A community of women that's going to pour into me, and help me to fall deeper in love with you. Help me to keep pouring from the well of everlasting life. Help me. Ladies, I hope you enjoy yourself at the well. I enjoyed you. And have a blessed and beautiful day. And I hope you return back to the well.